Good evening and welcome to 2015. I hope you've all survived the back end of last year. Nothing catastrophic's happened. I survived Sheffield, which is always good. Um, and we are starting. Hello, cat. I've got a cat with me now. We are starting this year off talking about our Game of the Year nominations and choices, and hopefully maybe coming to an overall decision where there's just the three of us and no one else can butt in and tell us what they think because they didn't join us. Um,
Because well, they're wrong by default by not to join us. So it's
exactly, yeah.
yep.
Which means we possibly have a Dangerous Drive Club being our official game of the year, which I'm a bit worried about.
Well, we'll see.
Win.
As usual, joined by Steve and Andrew. How
Hello.
you doing, guys?
Yeah, fine, great. Bit of
Yeah,
a cold, but that's about it.
yeah, 2015 is ticking along quite nicely so far. Whole credit to 2015.
See,
Yes,
2015's already better for me than 2014 because I've seen Steve's legs. He has them. They're real.
yes. I do have a lower half of my body. I know Andrew does because I've met him before. So no,
Yeah, we can confirm that exists. Not all
we are real.
one big conspiracy.
Well, we've got quite a few to get through. There's obviously a few games to talk about. I'm going to let Steve lead because I kind of his choice came a bit out of left field for me. I wasn't expecting it, and it's one that kind of made me go, "Yeah, I really enjoyed that."
Oh, so
So
we're going in with number ones then straight away.
let's just talk about our number ones to
Okay.
start
Well,
with.
my number one was uh, actually an expansion pack, which is a bit of a cheat. So my number one was Reaper of Souls for Diablo 3, because Diablo 3, when it came out, was not the game it should have been. And that's me being diplomatic, because I've got people that have played the base vanilla Diablo 3 for like hundreds of hours, and they say it's amazing, it's like Diablo 2 but better and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I played it through once and went, this is boring. I don't see any point. Because it's all about the grind. And the grind wasn't fun because, especially on the PC, when you had the real money auction house, you just bought things instead of going and killing things for stuff. It's just pointless. And so they started making changes technically before Reaper of Souls came out. And then when Reaper of Souls came out, it just turned into this wonderful rainbow of death and loot and gold and stuff. And you just punched demons in the tits and took their stuff, and it was fun again. It was amazing. But it took practically 2 years and an expansion pack to get to that point. And the reason I chose it as my game of the year was simply because it came out as a whole package on the next gen consoles. Although it did come out on PC as well, but I don't really get on with the PC version anymore because being able to sit on the settee and play it in front of my TV is infinitely better than hunched over a 24-inch monitor with a keyboard and mouse. And no game, I mean, all the games that came out this year, not one of them satisfied me nearly as much as Diablo 3 did. It's just obscene in its satisfaction. It's ridiculous. So but I know Brad played it, but I don't know if Andrew played it. So
I very briefly played the PC version of the original one when it came out, and it's not really my thing at all. It's a bit clicky.
so when you bought Diablo 3, given the pedigree of Diablo 2 and knowing
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
the action RPG,
I did come to the same conclusion with Diablo 2 as well. I did.
yeah, you bought Diablo
I
3.
played Diablo 2 quite a lot. To be fair, I did get on quite a long way in that, and I don't know. Diablo 3 just kind of came out at the wrong time for me to be able to spend enough time on it, and then everyone universally agreed that it was a bit. Anyway, so I just stopped.
Yeah, it's funny because it's a weird one because the console versions came out, which was weird. The Xbox 360 and the PS3 versions came out, and they got some of the changes that were about to come into the PC version, and so it was, and the way they'd mapped the controls to the pad was excellent. And so I kind of went, oh, this is actually the game I kind of wanted, and then Reaper of Souls came out and just changed it all up again. So even though if I had to pick a real game to be my game of the year, it'd probably be Wolfenstein. Because even though Wolfenstein doesn't do anything originally, it does everything very, very, very well.
Which sometimes that's all you want.
Yeah, I mean, have either of you played Wolfenstein? You're gonna say no,
You
aren't
have inspired me to start it again properly now. Yes,
Did you?
I did. I bought it and then didn't really spend that long on it at all.
Do you play
I did-
anything you buy?
Yes, I no. No, I don't.
No, I just buy games and I put them in. I get through the intro
I've
and go,
been quite
"That
well
looks
at the
pretty."
end. You know, I actually played some video games in preparation for this.
I write for this obvious game site, and we're talking about games of the year. You played it? No, I don't play anything.
Right, guys, I'm going to try to
no,
leave you two alone for 2 seconds, sorry, because because we're so professional, my screen's frozen, and I can't see anything. So I'm going to jump out and back in and hope you don't get lost. But carry on talking Diablo and Wolfenstein, and I'll wait my thoughts and I'll get back.
All right, okay.
2 seconds, gents.
All right. No, so it's just I want to play through it again. I actually want to play through the whole thing again because it's just the most satisfying FPS I've played in ages. And the fundamental thing, the fundamental thing about it all is like you know you get it and you can dual wheel stuff. It's bonkers. It's stupid. It's got the whole future timeline thing and it's all that good stuff. But the best thing about Wolfenstein is the Germans actually speak German. That's the best thing about Wolfenstein.
That does sound quite a crazy thing to pick out as the best thing, but I know exactly what you mean because just so many games have just comedy accents that.
It is, it's like...
The original Wolfenstein had them speaking German as well.
Do you know what? Wolfenstein 3D, or are we talking like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, or...
Wolfenstein 3D, the one that came out just before Doom.
Yes! Yeah. You see, the only time I played Wolfenstein 3D was on the Acorns at school, because you weren't allowed to play video games on it. It was like a 3-level demo or something. And I don't think there was any speakers on the...
I played it out of order, because I played Doom before I played Wolfenstein.
Right.
I did play a lot of Wolfenstein from then. That is basically why I bought the new one, is because I was a fan of the original one. Which is, it makes me ridiculously old, since that must have come out in 1990?
91? Do you know what? I don't actually know. Did you not play Wolfenstein on the Xbox 360 then?
No.
So did you play Return to Castle Wolfenstein on the PC?
No. Basically what happened here is I've got a PS4 with no games on it, and that sounded like a good idea, so I bought that and then didn't really play it.
Sorry.
Along with Watch Dogs, I also didn't really play despite quite like it.
You see, Watch Dogs, I don't think anybody could... If anybody... Did Watch Dogs come out this year, or was it the tail end of last year?
This year. Hello.
This year.
Hello, he's back.
Very smart this year, isn't it? Welcome back.
This year, do we actually mean 2014 because we're 2015 now? So I...
Yes.
Oh, I. Coming in as facts like years.
Yeah, it's like causality. Damn you. So yeah, no, because Wolfenstein. It was weird because, what year is it? So Wolfenstein on the 360 was really good fun, and did the whole Nazi zombie thing. And then Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein, does Nazi robots, and it's just like it's just wonderfully stupid. I think games should be stupid. It's like heavy metal. Heavy metal should be stupid. It should be ridiculous.
Nazi Beatles. That was brilliant.
The Nazi. It's little things like that. I just thought it was wonderful. So yeah, like Diablo 3. But if if somebody's gonna go, you gotta pick a real game, Wolfenstein.
No, I'm happy with Diablo 3 because it did feel like a fresh new game. I didn't play Diablo, didn't play Diablo 2. Was lucky enough to play Diablo 3 for review. Well, I say lucky enough. Apparently, I wasn't, but because I didn't know what I was expecting, I didn't know how badly broken it was. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. But then I played Reaper of Souls, and I realised that I shouldn't have enjoyed Diablo 3
You weren't
last year.
allowed to enjoy it, yeah.
But yeah, no, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Probably the most social game I played last year. Where I actually spoke to people while I was playing video games, which was good.
Yep.
Even outdoing what apparently real social games are, where I don't speak to people.
No.
This did it, and yeah, to be honest, Wolfenstein, I've not played all of it. It's one of those games where I installed it and it took up like about 10,000 gigabytes on my hard drive, and I had other stuff I had to review, so I kind of had to delete it, and I should get back to it. But what I played of it, I loved. It's stupid, it's fun, and to be honest, at points, the mechanics are solid on it. Dual wielding just anything is just great.
There's a point. There's a point later on. It's not much of a spoiler. A point later on when you get to a bridge, and it's all broken and stuff. But you pick up a sniper rifle, and then you pick up another sniper rifle. Now you can't actually scope with the sniper rifles, but you can still dual wield sniper rifles. And any game where you can dual wield sniper rifles is all right by me, no matter how stupid it is. It's like negates the basic functionality of a sniper rifle. Oh, can you put up GI? No, I'm just going to shoot some fall down there and hope for the best. It's fantastic.
But that automatically makes it a lot more realistic than even realistic shooters, because in Call of Duty you can only dual wield what the game tells you can dual wield if you're allowed to dual wield as a player. In real life, I could dual wield anything I bloody wanted if I've got the strength. I've got two arms.
I'm pretty sure if you tried to dual wield sniper rifles, though, if you tried to fire either of them, they'd probably break your arm.
They would, but you could dual wield them.
Yeah,
it allows you to pick them
come
up.
on, Nazi war machine, I'll take your arm.
Did Sniper Elite 3 come out last year as well?
I get
was
confused
2014.
There's Sniper Elite and there's Ghost Warrior, isn't there? There's the two different franchises. I get them confused.
Sniper Elite's the one with the X-ray cam with the bullets and the faces and the smash eyes exploding, face exploding. Oh, I'm having so much fun. That's my guys.
Is that the one with the DLC mission where you can shoot Hitler's testicle off?
No, that's Sniper Elite 2.
Right, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the same game, really.
Yeah. Well, you see, I didn't buy that one, but probably in the Steam sale a couple of years I bought the Nazi Zombie Army.
Is that standalone?
Yeah, it was like £6, but it was like £3. It's fine up until a point, and then it becomes a chore. But horde mode, shoot zombies, watch their vertebrae shatter and stuff. It's family fun. It's fantastic.
See,
I find it oddly relaxing as a game. It's quite therapeutic to just sit there and the bullet just goes in slow motion, just gently right in that guy's face.
As his jaw shatters into 1,000 pieces, it's quite cathartic.
My only problem with the Sniper Elite games is I love the sniping. I don't like the bits in between. It's like if someone could just make a sniper game where it's just scenario after scenario after scenario after scenario, I'm all over that.
The thing is,
I don't like the walking and the hiding and
the sneaky bits are a bit shit, but it's. I don't see how you. I think if you had a game where you were put into a thing where you've got to check the crosswind and wait for a guy, I think it'd be boring. After this is why I've only
comical.
The original Sniper Elite was quite close to that in its nerdery, but they kind of got rid of the nerdery a little bit to make faces explode.
If they make it true historical in the same way Assassin's Creed is truly historical, where you have they can have a little bit of a story and stuff like that, plodding along World War One, World War Two, and nick bits out of Saving Private Ryan, and just do little scenarios, and then it takes you to the point where you've got to wait for 4.5 hours for someone to walk by.
Actually, if you gave me
story.
What, sorry?
Sniper Elite 2's vaguely realistic in its story. It's
vaguely. Is it the same? Is it the same kind of realistic as U521, the John Bon Jovi film where the Americans stole the Enigma machine or something? Historically accurate. Yeah.
It's when the Americans and the Russians have both reached Berlin at the same time, and they've got to shoot them in the faces. In slow motion.
This is going to go,
unsurprisingly.
unsurprisingly.
The war with the slow motion. It's
unsurprisingly, this is going a little bit off topic.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a whole 10 minutes since that happened.
I know. One of my favourite stand-up routines is Eddie Izzard talking about Saving Private Ryan. Which is,
and we're back on topic now.
No, which is absolutely brilliant because he's talking about it and he goes, the problem I've got with Saving Private Ryan is there's Americans and there's Nazis, there's no Brits. There's barely a few French people. Yeah, there's barely a few French people. You know, it was originally we was doing the war bit. Maybe we could just stick our heads around the corner and go, hello, we're British, we're here. It's absolutely brilliant, but it's historically accurate. Sniper games are going to be so 2016.
You see, if there was an Assassin's Creed game that put you in one of the wartime cities like London or Berlin and gave you a sniper rifle and you could go around, I mean, one of the things about Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, is that Paris is wonderful. The actual environment's fantastic. It's awesome. Now, if you gave me that and you gave me a sniper rifle, I would probably buy the shit out of that.
You could finish it literally within a month or so after you bought it. So it's.
But what you could also do is just use the word from Saboteur.
I never played Saboteur. I never bothered with it.
Joyful. That really was joyful. That was one of the most underrated games I've played.
Yeah, it came out at a time when I don't know when it came actually, but it just kind of when I looked at it and went, not bothered.
So there you go. My game of 2014 was Saboteur from 2008. I haven't played it since 2008 either, or whenever it was I got it.
Oh, Jesus. Alright.
Andrew, defend yourself.
Drive Club. Game of the Year. Drive Club. Once they finished it, which is a crucial part of 2014, where games got finished slightly after they came out, mostly. I didn't buy it when it first came out, even though I did basically buy a PS because I thought Drive Club was going to be good. I thought, get the PS Plus version as soon as that comes out, give it out, see how it goes, and then probably I'll buy the full version. So in the end, I ended up buying the full version second-hand because they've obviously still not done the PS Plus version. And it's magnificent. It's as good as racing games can possibly be. It's ridiculously good-looking, and it's just perfectly designed for time trials. The cars feel great. They feel like they are real and different cars that you can tell when you're in a different one. But you can also tell that it's not even vaguely a simulation, that you can just hair at corners much too fast and you know that you're probably going to get out of the other side and that it'll put up big red flags to say, oh, sorry to interrupt your fun here, but you will have to brake shortly. It's very, very sorry about that. But
damn braking, damn physics.
And with the ghosts and the club challenges that pop up and the ridiculously specific time trial leaderboards where if you use the same weather and same car on the same track as someone, you get a completely different leaderboard to if you've done slightly different weather. So you've got a very realistic chance of being the best in the world. It just makes it worth going through, shaving off half a second, and then spending another 10 laps trying to work out where you're losing a second in the second half of the track, and then catching up, and then just slowly nudging ahead, and then just throwing your arms up in the air in magnificent celebration, because that's what time attack games do. I've managed to knock off 0.00003 seconds off that time, and I am a god.
See, actually, to go on the point, I know sort of like semi-joking with the point now, but that was one of the things that made Project Gotham Racing and the earlier Forza games such a joy to play. It wasn't the online racing, which was still good, where you was all together. It was when, via the forum, things like that, where someone had set up the weekly time trial events, and you would go over and over and over, day after day, any little break you got, trying to get better at that single lap to get that score, to jump up one place on the leaderboard. And that was great, and Drive Club does that really, really well.
I don't really see how anyone can improve on it for time trials. It's just more cars and more tracks is all that Drive Club needs.
I've got a few problems with Drive Club, but not. I don't think any of them are really Drive Club's fault. I mean, I haven't. I want to give it the time it so blatantly deserves, but there's just far too much else that's commanding my attention. But I haven't wanted to time trial things like on Drive Club since Outrun 2 on Xbox Live Arcade, which isn't a great amount of time ago, but it's the last game I kind of went, I can get seconds off here, I can get, kind of, and they're similar in that there's cars in them, but it's the same kind of, like you said, Project Gotham 2, back when I had all the time in the world, was just glorious for it. And somebody has said, quite a few people have said, that kind of Drive Club is in many ways the closest we'll get to a new Project Gotham racing style game, or the feeling you got from Project Gotham Racing. It's I can see why people. I mean, it's just marred by the whole complete and utter fuck up of its release. Because
it didn't deserve that at all. That's basically what it boils down to. That the advertising for it before kind of made it seem like it was going to be a big, massive, epic game where, it was going to be kind of in competition with Forza Horizon. And when it's not that sort of game at all, it's just small and it just has leaderboards where you play against people, and it didn't really need all that. And then when the leaderboards didn't work either, you were left with a game that just didn't make any sense at all, really. You got rid of the bit that worked as well as it could possibly work, and you didn't have much else left of it. It didn't have things like the weather, so it didn't look ridiculously amazing when it first came out. And it's I don't know, it's always going to be associated with that disaster when it came out, which is, it's not fair at all, but Sony deserved to get stick for it because they messed up.
They couldn't have done it or handled it any worse. It's just it's like it's just rubbish. It's the way it all just completely failed to us. There's this social game where you race against everybody else's times and you get challenges and stuff, and none of it's gonna work. It's like, how do you get that wrong?
The lack of a beta before it, so they couldn't say that it might happen, and then all the apologies after it were absolutely awful. They didn't tell anyone anything, and it was like, it got to the point where it was doing like one person in, one person out, like a market town nightclub on Friday night, but without even any like queuing system at all. It was just, wow, what have you come in? There's no one in.
There's no red rope. There's just a load of half cut, short skirted and girls and shavs all waiting to kind of crowd in.
Angrier whilst Sony read out emails to them outside to make them feel better. That is my game of the year. Go on.
See, I'm now in the position where I've played both Drive Club and Forza Horizon 2, and it just reiterates my point that people are bloody stupid, and that there is room in this world for both of those games.
The only similarity that Forza Horizon 2 and Drive Club have got is that they've got cars in them. It's as simple as that. It's like comparing, in a lot of ways, it's like comparing Burnout to Gran Turismo. It's like, Burnout Paradise is better than Gran Turismo. They're not the same. You can't compare them. If you do, you're a fucking idiot.
No, exactly. It's and to be honest, I'm really enjoying Forza Horizon 2 at the moment. I've stuck a good few hours into it since picking it up. And what I really like is Drive Club is very much the, look, here's your cars, here's your tracks, go and do your best at what we give you there. And that's absolutely fine. I'm happy to go and learn those tracks and do better each and every time I play. Whereas Forza Horizon is just a game where it just goes, here's your playground. Go and do what you have. And
here's a Lamborghini. Go and drive over to that side of Nice.
Yes. But the first time, I mean, I've got to admit, the first time with that, and this would probably have brought it to a strong contender for my game of the year had I played it before Christmas.
Yeah.
But the first time, it decides to give you a race where it's tooting along the road at like 120 miles an hour, and then goes, by the way, sharp left here into the field.
Yeah.
And you're flying blind. You are blind through that. Just going, I've got to go over here somewhere. I'll avoid that hay bale. I'll avoid that tree.
Yeah.
And hopefully I come out on the road somewhere. It absolutely blew my mind doing that. But it doesn't make Drive Club any worse. Drive Club, the actual game, is still fantastic.
This is it. It's the playground mentality of, company A's got this and company B's got this. But Forza Horizon 2, I thought was a better game than Drive Club in terms of just being a video game because it worked. You could get into an online game. You got times, you got your rivals, you got all that kind of stuff. And it kind of leads on to the problem I've got with Drive Club, is that after using, and it's I don't know if it is trivial, but because many people manage to get on with it, but after using the Xbox One controller to drive, you play a driving game, and using the DualShock 4 to play a driving game, there's really no comparison. The DualShock 4 is leaps and bounds ahead of the DualShock 3, and that's fine. But it's like saying having flu is better than having leprosy. It's just, I thought that the reactive, the rumble in the triggers was going to be a gimmick, but it's actually quite incredible when it's used right, like it is in Forza Horizon 2. And so, yeah, I've tried to. I mean, Forza Horizon 2 allows you to go around corners sideways at 120 mile an hour, and you don't need the finesse that you can get from the Xbox One sticks. Whereas Drive Club, you need to kind of think about. I mean, Andrew's right in what it says in that you don't need to plan it like you need to do in Gran Turismo, but you still need a bit more finesse to get them seconds off your time of going in and coming out of them corners. And I don't think the DualShock 4 really affords that for me because I'm a cack-handed chimp. I mean, it does for loads of people because I've done loads of challenges and people have got 6 and 7 seconds on me, so I'm doing something wrong.
But you're right about the controller. It's obviously I made the decision PS4 first. That's what I've got, and people were talking about the rumble in the triggers, and part of me was going, you're just trying to justify it's playground. Like you're trying to justify why you got that over this. And then I played Forza 5 just after Christmas, and as you're accelerating away or hitting the brake, you can feel that tactile feedback in those triggers. It was just feel the road, and it's amazing.
It's bizarre. It's really, really weird because like, you're trying to explain it to someone. I mean, you haven't got an Xbox One, have you, Andrew?
No, I've played one occasionally, but not really. I don't know.
So we'd like trying to explain like and say, oh, rumbling triggers is fucking great, but it sounds retarded, but it actually makes a bigger difference than you'd think. It's like when you got the when the PS1 when the first DualShock came out and then they released the rumble and you went, oh, it rumbles, it moves, I feel it when I get shot. It's almost as big as that. But anyway, but no, Drive Club is an incredible game, and I'll also defend it because it deserves to be defended.
One of the things about Drive Club is that we will defend it because we are old people in terms of video games, and I think that is quite a big aspect of Drive Club. I mean, things like Forza Horizon, there's a lot of here's a playground, go and do stuff, and you're like, I don't know what I'm meant to do. I'm thinking. Whereas Drive Club is, here's a track. You drive round it, and again, and you drive round it again until that number in the top corner gets low enough to make you go, yay.
So what you're saying is Forza Horizon 2 goes, here, have fun, and you're going, I don't want fun. I'm old. I want to be in my
I'm
slippers
saying
by
it.
8:30, and I want a cup
Goes,
of
here you go,
cocoa.
have fun. And I'm like, well, I don't know where the fun is. Just take me to the fun, and I will sit down and I will absorb your fun.
Apart from the fact that there's very large primary coloured icons that are on the map that look that you basically might as well have a massive neon sign saying "Go here to start race."
Why do
Also
I
love
have
the
to
fact
go
that
here, though? Why can't I just press X and I am there?
Andrew's just basically just sat there in his rocking chair out the front of his lawn and gone, these young people and their playground games. If that car comes in my yard one more time.
I don't want to have to think about things. I just want somebody to put pad in my hand and set me going.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
This year, which is probably not a coincidence.
Yeah, but it's a wrinkly old penis, so it's it's similar to being an old man.
That is why I loved it. That is literally why I loved it.
What, your penis? What? Have I missed something? What?
Andrew's penis is Game of the Year 2014.
Agreed.
To be fair, it's been not Andrew's penis, but it's been my game of the year for the past 35 years. So,
What, Andrew's?
no. Shall we move on?
Yes. Velocity.
Oh yeah, velocity makes me feel stupid.
Really?
Yeah, because it requires me to do many things at once, and I can't do any of them. Anyway,
Not
that's
for
it. You tell us because I'm old. Brad, why is Velocity 2X? Is that Velocity 2X your game of the year?
Because that's what I picked out of my indie game Lucky Dip at the end of the year to decide to be my game of the year.
Indie game tombola.
Yeah, what's it going to be? I give indie games 10 out of 10. See,
Yeah,
you do.
There are people out there.
The thing is, you better rod for your own back, because back when you reviewed it, you said it was your game of the year. This was in June, July.
The month before it released, July, August, yeah.
Right, yeah, which was an incredibly stupid thing to do, Bradley.
No, technically, I claimed that I agreed with Future Lab's own description that it was Game of the Year 2014. I said that's a bold claim, but they're not wrong, and I agree with them at the time, and it still stands up as my Game of the Year. I also said Ollie Ollie probably could have been there, and that's not even made my top 10, so I am happy to backtrack somewhat.
Yeah.
But no, Velocity is...
on with Ollie Ollie at all.
No,
I still love it.
We'll get back to that.
Another day. But no, Velocity, it's got... The story's bobbins. The story is absolute bobbins. It's god-awful. The story makes no sense. I don't care for the story one little bit. But that's not what Velocity is about. Velocity is about proper arcade, old-school gameplay on modern consoles. Or PC, because it's on PC now.
Is it?
Yeah, got a PC release.
On the pulse.
And yeah, it's what I really like is that you've got the levels where it's just get through this as fast as you can. That's the only goal, is get there as fast as you can. And then it throws in levels where it goes, right, you've been going fast, what we're going to do, we're going to slow it down a bit, grab a partner, we're going to have a bit of a slow dance. It goes for the, right, this is a giant maze now. We've given you a track to burn through, we've now got a maze for you to work through, a big giant puzzle. And you go from levels that take 30 seconds to a minute and a half to a level that can take 20 minutes on your first playthrough. But much like Andrew was describing with Drive Club, the joy of Velocity is going back after you've finished it and trying to shave seconds off your best time or get a higher score. And what's really good is there's loads of little hidden bits as well where you could, as you complete level 30 odd, you can go back to level 1 and get to a bit you couldn't do before to get some hidden bits.
Because you've got the bombs and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's loads of little mini bits and meta games in there that really fit it well. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's a little bit of bias when it comes to Future Lab games. We got given the chance to review the original Velocity when it was a PlayStation Mini. One of our ex-writers, Mark, did the review for it. And since then, I've shown an interest in Future Lab because I just fell in love with Velocity as well. Um, and then to watch, Velocity Ultra come out, and that was great. And now Velocity 2X, along with the Surge Deluxe that they've done. And I know Adam loves Surge Deluxe. Me and him had a bit of a to and fro when that was released, as we was 1 and 2 in the world for a little while before it actually got released, and then we realised we was crap. But yeah, Coconut Dodge. That's probably their worst game I've played, but it's still playable. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. But Velocity 2X, I'm still playing it now. I'm still going to play it for the next year. And they can release DLC for it. I will buy it. It was free. It's just, they Sony done them a big,
wasn't it?
Sony done Future Lab a big favour with helping to fund Velocity and a few other bits, and allowed them on PlayStation Plus to give them some exposure. After Velocity Ultra, Future Lab made it. Everyone knew who they were. There was excitement for Velocity 2X. They could quite easily have sold that, and people would have bought it, and it still would have done well. They paid back Sony and went, "Go on, you can have this on PS Plus as well." Obviously, they're still getting a bit of payment out of it.
Yeah.
But it's just to think that I got that game, regardless of getting it for review or not. I got that game, and I would have got it for free, regardless. And for me, there's no better value for money than Velocity 2X. I'm still playing it. I've not perfected it. It's got the best credits I've seen this year. It's absolutely joyful the way the credits work. And it's got a lovely surprise at the very end of the game that I'm not going to spoil, because everyone should try and find that for themselves.
Yeah.
The fact I'm still playing it after review, because I want to play it, so it shows how good it is, when I've had other stuff that, I've got to play. And I'll keep going back to that. I played it today. I'm probably going to play it tomorrow if I get time. Because you can play it for 20 seconds, like a couple of minutes, or you can spend half hour to an hour on it. The only thing it battled with for me was Binding of Isaac, but no, Velocity just picked it for me.
You see, we'll get to Binding. In fact,
no, we probably won't. Not today.
No, we probably won't. No, but no, Velocity 2X. I've picked it up again recently. Actually, I was giving it a go, and the high score thing's great, as high scores tend to be when they're done really well. But the one thing that I really like about Velocity is that when you are, for example, on the speed runs, when you are doing the speed runs and you're using the warp and you hit the warp 4 or 5 times in a row across the screen, and you're going at full whack, and it's proper. It's like in the zone gaming, which there isn't much of these days. And it's like you kind of bipping about the screen, and then you're kind of doing triggers, and you learn the level, and you're doing it. And, I've died, back to the beginning in 2 seconds, and you start again. And it does that exceptionally well. And it's a very satisfying little game. I can see why you'd keep playing it. But like I said, when it gets to the point of going, right, you need to be fast and use warp, and there's bombs, and it kept adding mechanics at me, and I'm like, I just want to shoot shit in the face, and you keep throwing things at me, so it just confuses me a little bit. Like I say, my general thing is smash something in the face until it falls over, and you can't do that with Velocity, because you'll not get. I think I could do a Velocity level, and I go, "You've improved your score." I'm like, "Yeah," and then I look at a friends list, and I'm 10th, and I'm like, no.
I'm not saying I'm any good at Velocity, by the way. I don't top any leaderboards.
I think usually top 3 on mine. You're usually topped by Johnster. I don't know if you've got Johnster, but he's good at everything.
God, yeah. No, I'm going to remove him. But no. See, my problem is, when I got that very, very early, and I was top 5 in many, many leaderboards. So you had, like, the developers and maybe one other reviewer above me, and some of the levels, I'm above them, and you've got that aspect to it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really good at this. And then it released.
And then you just got
double figures.
Down.
And I'm in double figures, triple figures. I'm about 1,000th now.
Welcome to Statitude Population U.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not good at games. I just enjoy games. But yeah, Velocity, it's great. And the fact it's a single player only game, it's good to see in this day and age, because they could easily have just turned that into a massive social type game, and they didn't really. See what it is.
In a very tied-in kind of way, that's pretty much why Wolfenstein was as good as it was. because Machine Games spent all their time making a single-player game rather than making a single-player game and then a multiplayer that nobody's going to play after the first 2 weeks. Because that's generally tends to, unless it's COD, Battlefield, even to Titanfall. I was really sad to find that Titanfall's proper dropped off because it's incredible. That
I've not
came out
played it yet.
well.
I've got that. We've got that. I've not played it.
Yeah, came out in March.
Oh, that seems
Not
like
this year. This year just gone. Yeah, but no, Titanfall is better than Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
I'll jump on that.
I got
I'll play
Titanfall on PC, and it didn't really grab me, to be honest. I think it was one of those games where it's not as much fun if you're a bit shit.
The really bizarre thing about that one is that I found I was a lot better at it than most other FPSs. I just managed to, I'm like usually top 2 or 3. It's like, and I'm like usually languishing at bottom because I'm going, what's going off? And by the time I've gone, what's going? Somebody's blown my head off, and I'm like, look at it, right? Like on COD, I'm hammering X. I'm like, can respawn? They'll get you, you fucker. And then he just shoots me again.
You still playing Titanfall, Steve?
I generally tend to play it when somebody's about.
I'll get on it over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I get on it and we'll play it together. I mean, if you want to play it on P, because I'm an idiot and I bought it on both, so I've got it on both. Next time they do Season Pass for cheap, you should buy it because the new maps are amazing.
I've got it on Xbox One, so I'll.
Yeah. But no, Titanfall was. I think EA did themselves a disservice by making it a exclusive to Xbox. But I suppose
here's a good question for you. With that being exclusive to Xbox, if it wasn't, do you reckon that would have been a lot better received and been in more people's Game of the Year lists? Or was it not quite that good?
No, because there's something about it that prevents it from being the kind of go-to for when you want to play multiplayer stuff. It's like people I play with generally tend to pick up Battlefield 4 and put that. It only took them a year to get it right, and so it's kind of our go-to when there's like 5 of us together. But Titanfall, I mean, it probably doesn't help that people kind of got on the ground floor at PS4 and went, PS4, screw you, Microsoft, and then Microsoft went, well, we've got Titanfall by the people who did Call of Duty, and so obviously all the PS4 players that had jumped ship. So it may be. It's difficult to say. If I had one of them time machines that jumped realities, I might be able to find out.
A game's got kind of a bad atmosphere around it. It never does quite as well as, like Drive Club. I don't think is ever going to be classed as a massive success because of the mess it was at the start. And it's going to be fine, but it's never going to be remembered well. It's going to be remembered as that game that. And Assassin's Creed Unity will as well, and Master Chief Collection will as well. And Titanfall didn't have the problems, but it did have the and now suddenly it's exclusive, and people were. I don't know. I think it put too much pressure on it for people who could play it and people who couldn't play it.
I'm going to disagree with you on Master Chief Collection. That is going to be the Andy Dufresne of video games. That's going to come out the other side smelling of roses.
Well, we'll do when they fix it.
Yeah. That's not going to have the long-term stigma attached to it that Drive Club, Assassin's Creed, etc., had.
It's been 2 months and it's still got matchmaking problems. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you watch. When we look back in 5 years' time, Master Chief Collection will come out smelling the roses compared to the others.
Anyway. I bet you £5 it does not.
Compared to the others?
Compared to the others.
If I could get
I've seen the future. We've got Euro, so I'm happy to take your £5. Thank you very much.
It's worth about €6.3.
I know he said British pounds. If it goes to euros, then I'm scot-free. It's fine.
But do you know what? Before your little derailment there, I had a point and I've completely forgotten it now.
About what?
I don't fucking know. I've forgotten it. What are we talking about? We're talking about something. Yes. Now this is what I'm thinking. Because it used to be a game would come out, people would buy it, and then they just bring out the same shit next year and do all kind of that. Now I think, and anecdotally, the internet has made it very difficult for companies to get away with the same shit twice. Some people would argue that, and I can see why they would. But after the whole debacle with the Xbox One's a prime example, yeah. Xbox One was announced, complete mess. everybody kicked off. And normally, I'd have thought that everybody kicked off and nothing would have happened because people have got short memories. They go with whatever they want. You know, people like buying stuff, hive mind, whatever. But Microsoft realised they couldn't get away with it anymore. And so it's going to be interesting to see what someone like Ubisoft learn from Unity and to see how it affects whatever the next one's called. Although they are in control of a massive mess because they leaked the next Assassin's Creed. You know, it leaked. They didn't leak it, and when Unity was still busted, and so it's
Forget that one. Oh,
Yeah,
look, this one. Oh,
it's
well, I might
just-
as well tell you about this one now. It's out.
exactly. It's just, people go, oh, you're so cynical. It's difficult not to be cynical when people pull shit like that.
It's weird with companies. They go through this routine. I remember a couple of years ago, Ubisoft were proper. It was good guy Ubisoft. They
Yeah.
were producing. It was like, look at Ubisoft. They're taking risks. They've got these great games coming
Rayman
out.
Origins.
Look at-
Rayman
yeah.
Legends. No?
And to be fair, you take it. Watch Dogs isn't amazing. It hasn't changed the world like it was promised to do. But it's a good game. I don't mind playing it. It's fun. I've had enjoyment with it. It's not perfect, but we are also people who overhype things. The way they revealed that, everyone just went, "Oh my god, this is the
Yeah,
next."
If they'd released that game, we might have thought that as well.
Yeah. But they overpromised and underdelivered. They're not the first company to do so. They're not going to be the last. It's not only in this industry that it's going to happen.
It just bothers me that they do the whole open world thing. All their games are open world games now. I mean,
but this is Ubisoft, who also gave us Valiant Hearts and Child of Light this year.
Bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, so but they're the bad guys. 3 years ago,
Almost as if they come up
Activision
with
was scum of the earth.
credit with people.
Yeah, it's like just cynicism.
We had Activision, absolute scum of the earth. Activision. This year, they're giving us Sierra back. They're giving us Geometry Wars. That's just an amazing game, and that's come from Activision getting behind indies.
Aside from COD, Skylanders, and Geometry Wars, what have Activision released this year?
Not much.
What have EA released this year? Dragon Age, FIFA,
NHL, Madden, NBA, blah blah blah.
usual staples. But
Right,
there's no Need for Speed. They did
no.
Titanfall.
Oh no, yeah.
It's just what we've noticed is there's been this shift now, because whether it's because new generation and because it's so expensive, but companies, they're just not putting out as many games.
Activision went through this period, weren't they? With if they could buy it, they'd buy it and they'd release it, and they seem to have learned their lesson. They've had their period of doing that. They've learned their lesson a bit. EA are look almost to be heading back towards the EA that gave us Skate and Mirror's Edge and games like that.
It's just that all the time because EA, was it last year and the year before or the year, like 2 years, they're the worst company in America. I doubt it, seriously, but apparently they are. And so they're trying to shed that, and so they all just go in cycles. All the big ones. Maybe we should just get back to penis jokes because they'll be becoming very serious.
Well, also I do apologise to the rest of our Gamestyle team because obviously we've got about 10 minutes left. We haven't discussed any of their games.
Oh well.
You see, we can't. Well, okay, we can't discuss Johnny's because if we discuss Johnny's, we give away the whole game. So we can't do that.
Johnny's is fantastic. It's the best visual novel of the year. We'll give it that. Best visual novel of the year.
And the other contenders were
Danganronpa 2.
2, yeah. Okay, well, so have you got these written down? Because I ain't got them written down anyway.
Dragon Age Inquisition was both Adams and Simon T. So that's the only game that got 2 nominations. So technically, that's officially our game of the year because it got most votes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it is incredible. It's very, very good. I've played about 4.5 hours on it, but I watched my missus play about 30, 40 of it before she decided she'd burned out on video games for a year. And it's incredible. It's really good. It's a very good RPG. It's great. What else we got?
What else? Charlie Simon. He's not called Charlie Simon because that's just not his name at all.
Just to digress back to Ubisoft being
Why I'm going back to the site to look at things. Good
Yeah.
diversion.
Do you know what one game that they did release this year that was great and worked? Far Cry 4. It worked and it was great.
Yes.
When you see it for 20 quid, pick it up because it's great. It's so good.
I got Far Cry 3 for a fiver on the day it came out, so I'm kind of waiting for that for Far Cry 4 as well.
The thing is, it's like Far Cry 4 is Far Cry 3, but bigger, better, faster, more, and with a protagonist that isn't a complete bell end that you want to punch in the neck. But the best thing about the Far Cry 4 is just it's that stuff that Far Cry's always been good at, the emergent stuff. You know, it just like watching Paula try and take down a rhinoceros with nothing but a bow and arrow, realizing she can't, and then stabbing it to death. It's hilarious. It's fantastic.
That sounds like some kind of dodgy sex game that you have with us, Steve, in all fairness.
No, it doesn't.
Well, do you know what it is to get a rhinoceros? I'm kind of fucking idiot here. What? Seriously.
Mario Kart. There we go. That was our other choice. Mario Kart.
I don't want to talk about Mario Kart.
And Bayonetta.
Bayonetta 2 is incredible. Bayonetta 2 is incredible. Really
Not played it because I decided I'm going to finish Bayonetta 1 first.
Don't bother.
Okay. Fine.
You can finish Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 1's also incredible, but Bayonetta 2... The really weird thing is Bayonetta 1 looks really washed out on the Wii U compared to Bayonetta 2.
Do I need to play Bayonetta 1 to get Bayonetta 2?
No.
No, right,
Story's
okay.
bollocks. It don't make any sense anyway.
Cool. It's
typical Platinum Hokum. It's just some things happen. Heaven, hell, kill demons, kill angels, shoot them in the face. I don't know. Just...
To be fair, I saw the opening 10 minutes, I think, on a Giant Bomb Quick Look the other day, and oh my god, that's how you open a game.
It's ridiculous. The first one opens just similarly as ridiculously.
But
Bayonetta 2 is definitely worth it. As for, I've got problems with Mario Kart, but I don't really want to.
So I'm sorry to defend him.
No, I don't want to go into it because people love Mario Kart and it's a sacred cow. And...
Okay. Do you know, but it's surprising, if we look at some of the ones that haven't got in this year, it's like Super Smash Brothers. It seems to be well loved by so many people, but that's not really made any Game of the Year lists.
I think the thing with Smash Brothers is it's loved by the people who love it, and that's it.
It's loved by people who love Nintendo and love Smash Brothers. It's one of the biggest niche games you can get. I mean, as in it sells a lot, but it's a niche game. I don't like Smash Brothers because it's just
fair enough.
I don't know. I just can't get into it. I just can't.
But yeah, there's like, I mean, we're not gonna obviously. I've had so many that I could have chosen. I mean, my closest also one. I got it down to 3 games before I made my final decision. Velocity obviously won. Binding of Isaac we're not going to go into because I know that's just a one-off show for you two to discuss. So we're not going to go into that, but I loved it. My other one was Never Alone, which technically could challenge Danganronpa for best visual novel of the year. Even though it's not a visual novel.
Never Alone was. I've not played it. Never Alone was a weird one because it got like 6s and 9s. It was either all right or incredible, depending on who you reviewed it by. Or was it reviewed by? So
I'll buy it cheap at some point, but I've not played it yet. I still maintain if you just took it as separating out this and this of the game and going, this is a platforming game. Well, yes, it is. It's not a great platformer. It's not fit to lick Mario's boots, for example.
Yeah.
It's not a great platformer.
It's like Limbo then.
Yeah, in a way, but the story of it, it's just not a story. It's not a story. It's a documentary around the game, and it's just. I started playing it, and I went to play it for 10 minutes. As I usually start when I do a review process. I start a game for 10 minutes, walk away, and come back the next day before jumping in further. I put it on, and I walked a bit, and it told me a little bit, and then it went, now press this to watch a little video. And I was like, okay, pressed it, and watched this video about this tribe of people, and it was just that was really interesting. So I walked a bit further and got another one, and I was like, I'm actually playing a documentary, and that's generally what it is. You're walking along, solving fairly simple puzzles, to unlock a documentary and just learn as you're going. And it's almost like the whole idea of how you teach kids that if you teach them through fun, they learn more and it
Yeah.
soaks in better. And I know more about different types of Eskimo tribes now than I did 2 months ago.
Don't
And I'm
think
glad I do.
that.
But it was just a joy. And I sat there at one point and you're listening to some of the things that happen and some of their stories they're telling, and they're quite emotional. And you're sitting there, you're just kind of, you're not upset, you're not crying, but you're just sitting there, you're just really drawn into who these people are, what they do, and it's just. I said at the end of my review with Never Alone, when we said years ago we want more games to show that they can handle mature themes and be a lot more mature.
Yeah.
That is what we meant. Not Grand Theft Auto, not Far Cry, stuff like that. This is what we meant.
Yeah.
And that if anything, if that can get more people to do more things like that and tell more stories like that, I think Valiant Hearts does a good job of that as well. Even though it's got some comedic aspects and it's not strictly 100% accurate, that does a fairly decent job. Never Alone does it better. It's making me want to try. Is it This War of Mine?
Oh, I nearly bought that in the Steam sale, but I don't
did buy that in the Steam sale, but obviously haven't played it yet.
I don't think I could deal with
No.
the cripplingly emotional tie that you need to play it. I don't think I could do that.
No, but again,
civilian.
it's another. I think this is what we're seeing now with games like Never Alone and This War of Mine, Valiant Hearts. I think we're starting to see games handle those mature themes. This War of Mine, from what I understand from people who have played it, is quite possibly one of the most maturest games in terms of the way it handles the content and the way it delivers it.
Yeah.
That you will ever get to play, and that is intrigued me. And I do want to play, but I want to play that in the right frame of mind.
You see, I don't think I'd ever have the right frame of mind. I'd have to have like one screen of This War of Mine, and on the other one, I'd have to have like the most blue sky gaming Sega nonsense, because I'd be. Do you know what? I tried to justify it. I watched videos on it. And I watched not too many because I didn't want to spoil it, and I read up on it and read reviews and I read it. And I'm like, I really want to play this game, but I just don't think I can invest myself in it. Which sounds a bit shit. I don't watch, and I don't really watch like films that require that that are going to end badly. I don't like watching them because I don't watch films to feel crap. I watch films to watch shit get blown up or laugh or laugh while shit's getting blown up. So it's like I think that there is a place for games that resonate on a certain emotional level with people. But I mean, it's like State of Decay. You have to make. It's not the same as This War of Mine, but you have to make decisions on who lives and who dies depending on how you do your.
That with the
basis
free roaming zombie thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I started playing it, and I'm like, I can't make these decisions. I just want to splat zombies. I don't want to.
See, This War of Mine. I just think we ended on This War of Mine because we could be done in a minute. It was just kind of weird. It's almost ended on a depressing theme, but there we go. I will change it up for a couple of minutes after. This War of Mine is going to be for me one of those games that reminds me of the film Mysterious Skin. Now, I don't know if either of you have seen that with Joden Gordon-Levitt.
No.
Basically, he plays a young homosexual guy who's drawn into this really bad world of drugs and exploitation and stuff like that. It's quite possibly one of the most depressing films I've ever seen.
Sounds great.
No, I'm glad. It's one of those. I'm glad I've seen it. I never want to see it again, but I'm glad I've experienced that as a film. And I've got a feeling that This War of Mine is going to be very much the same. I'm going to play it. I'm not going to enjoy it, but I know I'm going to be glad that I've experienced it at the same time, but never go back to it again.
It sounds like my experience with Grave of the Fireflies. Have you seen Grave of the Fireflies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never watch that again, ever.
No. I bought This War of Mine in the same Steam last-minute grabbing as I bought The Dark Last, I think it's called, where you play someone who's been the victim of a plane crash in northern Canada, and
The Long Dark.
Oh yeah, I fancy that kind of interesting,
Well,
same sort of way. Yes.
and that's just horrible as well. That's just oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I have.
No, it's
Well,
it's there's a
just
big thing.
just lighting a flare because there's a wolf coming at you, and you're the wolf's going away, and then
You
you
survive
go
one day.
inside to a little log cabin, and you can't see anything because it's just dark, so you're just walking around a log cabin. So then you go outside, and there's a blizzard, and then you just freeze to death. But technically it's not finished yet, so this could be a 2015 Game of the Year.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move away from before everyone tries
For
to off
everybody
themselves or
I think we've turned everybody off already. I mean,
most
if
most
we're talking
depressing
about
podcast ever.
Lovely Planet as well. Lovely Planet's good, and that's really cheerful.
No, we're going to finish with a question for you both.
oh god,
Captain Toad, because that's bright. There's nothing depressing about Captain Toad.
yeah.
2014 or 2015 for whether
Mine,
it's eligible.
Well, the official release date was still the
2015.
2nd, so 2015. Yeah,
Cool.
it is. It's very Nintendo. It's like a bit like Mario 3D World. If you could bottle Nintendo, that's pretty much what it'd come out like.
See, but obviously, so I would finish that with. I wanted to bring that up because we live. People have spoken about this being a horrible year for games. A horrible year for games.
Oh, they're talking rubbish.
Because of a handful of bad experiences, and that's what I'm going to say. A handful of bad experiences. So I add in a few really bad early access
nominated
things.
as Game of the Year.
Right? No. But we live in a world. We live in a world where we've got a choice of two extremes at the end of the year. You've got this War of Mine, which is going to just resonate on one level, Captain Toad on the other way, and everything in between. This has not been a bad year for games whatsoever.
It's not. There's been a lot of
forward
remakes.
to an article I'm writing. I'm writing a bit of an article about 2015 that's coming up, and I'm quite excited. I think this is going to be a big year, and I think that 2014 was kind of like a prequel for 2015. I think
It was-
things are going to be
That's generally how years work.
No, but I think there's a bit of a shift coming in how gaming is approached, and I think a lot of the rubbish that occurred in 2014 is kind of a precursor to a lot of things being accepted, and like I'm sure you were about to say, there being a massive range of games from the ridiculously depressing to the ridiculously Toad-filled.
I think we're only going to see that in. I think we're going to see. It's no real coincidence that most of those games are on PC.
And Vita next year, because I haven't mentioned the Vita yet today.
Oh Jesus! Gamestyle sponsored by Vita.
If only.
So
But without the money.
without the money, yeah, we don't get anything. Thanks, Sony. Apart from broken PSN. Oh, that's 2 for 2. But it's just
10%.
yeah. I mean, the long dark and all the survival games are on PC because that's where the market is. I mean, Rust and Minecraft and all those kind of games all started on that format. So I guess that the market's more. I mean, can you imagine that this War of Mine being released on, on Xbox One? It'd tank. It'd do nothing.
Do you know what system it would be good on?
Shut up.
3DS.
3D, it'd be an amazing fit on a Nintendo console. Fuck it. Put it on Wii U. Put it on Wii U. You can use screen to,
Yeah, no, this company wouldn't have Finding a Visor.
The person that you killed by accident, and the main screen can show constant misery.
Yeah, that's it. You can. No. But no,
Oh, stick it on a Facebook console, and just every time you die or someone dies because of decision making, share that with the world.
Oh, you bring in your actual
you
friend,
decided.
and
You
then
decided.
they die.
You decided to steal food while the girl was getting raped in the next room. Do you want to share this on Facebook? This War of Mine it sounds bleak as shit, and I really don't know if I could. Anyway, but Captain Toad, fantastic.
But what I will say is one thing 2014 has done to me because of some really just crap times with PSN and stuff like that, especially Christmas. PSN and Xbox Live just not working Christmas Day.
Yeah, but it weren't working because of our souls.
Yeah, right, but it wasn't working.
And that's the
But
PS.
it's reintroduced me fully to board games. It's introduced me back to board games, proper board games, and I'm going to start next weekend probably, and that is hopefully could be one of my games of the year.
That came out two or 3 years ago.
Yes.
I got Hive over Christmas.
Oh, the little
You
tiles.
got Hives?
Tiles.
Yeah.
No, it's Hive's a good little game. Yeah.
Hives? I thought you meant Hives.
2001, so that's...
I think we're getting off topic again.
But I've been told, obviously I told you about this. That's the Gamestyle
Game
mug.
of the year 2014 is officially a mug.
I think we're done.
It is. However, this is
the
going to be retro mug because we have a new overhaul coming to the site soon. We're going to get new logo, new website layout, and we've got someone working on it right now. So we've got lots of exciting things to come. We have
What, 5:10 at night? Shouldn't we be in bed?
We're not paying him, don't worry.
child labour. Yeah.
No. So what we got coming up this week, Brad?
Well, I'm going to visit one of those Chinese concentration child labour camps and see how video games are made. Special video feature on that. This week, coming up, we have stuff. We're
so
kind of still
professional.
in. No, we've got a lot of yay nay stuff, which is mainly you at the moment, Steve. I'm going to review a Loot Crate box as well because they're interesting.
Basically, until the industry gets its arse in gear and starts releasing games again, we're doing lots of little things that are video game related, but not necessarily video games. Although there might be some reviews from games that should have been reviewed last year, but I didn't get around to because all the games come out at the end of the year. So
I'm gonna do some
cat review as well, which is almost finished now, which has been sat there not being finished since Pix the Cat came out.
I'm going to do a few videos with my son and put them on the internet.
Cool.
Nice videos. I'm going to sort of kind of sit here and we're going to talk what he's latest playing. And
we assumed that. We did assume that.
Steve's met me and my son. He's perfectly healthy.
He's actually quite well adjusted. Say it's your son.
Yeah, he's good. But he did inspire me. Actually, I'm going to write an article on parenting. And
yes.
Gaming and parenting.
I did see an amazing article that someone had written about parenting where they used their kid as an experiment and only let them play games in chronological order. So when they were first born, they were playing like old NES games, then they allowed them to graduate to SNES games.
What? That's a bloody intelligent kid. Day of birth. There you go, son. There's a SNES controller.
Day of birth.
I'll dig out the link. It was amazing. It was a fantastic thing. And joy.
It is. I tried doing that.
There's Final Fantasy 3. Crack on.
There's Zulk.
Anyway.
Good. Anyway.
But we've got stuff, nothing tight. There's no sort of we're doing this game. I've got a couple of reviews to finish. I've got to try and introduce a few more video concepty bits, and yeah,
super.
That's it. See how it goes, and then we'll get a new spangly site
for when the games start coming out.
Yeah. We do have actually the end of this month. Obviously, we've got a couple more videos before that. I really am looking forward to that game from Square Enix. I've now forgot what it's called.
Me too. Oh, that game.
The life of something or other.
Oh, Jesus.
This life? No, this life. That was Andrew Lincoln, weren't it? Life is Strange. Yeah. That's it. There we go.
Life is Strange. I'm so out of touch.
It's another one of those episodic visual novel type games, but in fully realised 3D world.
Oh. Okay.
With a little emo girl who has emo issues.
Oh, yes. No, I did see the preview for that. That looks interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to see. I also, do you know what I haven't played that I should play as well? I want to play
What should you play?
the Wolf Among Us.
Oh, I don't know.
I bought that in a Steam sale. Yay!
I'm waiting for it to go on sale on a console that I shall not mention because I can't do them games big screen.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
I'm going to say because it was on offer on the Xbox One, so.
yeah, I can't do big screen. They're personal. It's like, yeah, I can do it on a tablet or I can do it on that machine that shall not be named.
Right.
I'm not allowed to mention the Vita.
No.
Oh,
Oh, fucking hell. Right.
we're 10 minutes over.
Yeah.
Right, so are we going to agree on Game of the Year? Before we go, are we going to agree on Game of the Year or should we
No, of
just
course
say
we're not.
games? Games are Game of the Year because games are great.
Games. It's a great time. It's a great time to be a gamer. Just play what you like and fuck everybody else.
So officially, Assassin's Creed Unity is Game of the Year. Well
Yep,
done.
absolutely. Game of the Year, 2014. Along with the Master Chief Collection's online mode that worked out of the box.
And Drive Club's.
And Drive Club's
release.
social media connectivity.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's to 2015. It's going to be another great year. We're in the future. And also, we can't play video games with our hands this year because that's my only Back to the Future reference all year now.
Good, because I'm sick of seeing it on Facebook already.
I know. Unless I can get Elijah Wood to join us. I've got Cole Boswell. If I can get Elijah Wood to join us and say that phrase, I might do that.
Elijah Wood might. From what I know of Elijah Wood, he actually might, if we emailed him and say, do you want to come on our Rinky Dink Mickey Mouse video podcast that we hold every week? We're going to talk rubbish and digress, and it'll be great. And he'll probably say yes.
And all I want you to do is come on and say one phrase and
All
leave.
you want to say.
It's up to you if you wear the hat.
Oh, good.
Anyway, that's us.
Thank you for sticking with us. Jesus.
Goodbye.